Let's get started.
Subrata, just one moment. Hi, Ritvik and team, this is Rangaraj here. Could you please change my name too? I've already mentioned it in the text.
Okay. Hi, please change it to
Yes, sir. We are changing that too.
Rangaraj. Rangaraj startup name is We Move, slot number 6.
Mine too, please. Startup number 7, Ekalavya. Oh.
Hi, Raj. Good morning.
Hi, Subrata. Morning.
Hi, Dinesh. Good morning.
Morning, everyone.
We're going to start in a minute. Arvi, can you start with the presentation? Can you just start and then I'll start with my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Arvi, can we start?
Yes, sir. Just a moment.
I think Saurabh's name has not been changed yet. Urvija. Okay, Ritvik, can you please open my presentation? I'll just quickly give a brief presentation and then we will start with the introduction.
Yes, sir. We are doing that.
Okay, first page, please. I think can you zoom out a little bit? The screen is not visible entirely. Here on your left top corner, there is a minus sign. Left top corner, not this one, left hand side. Below. Yep. Yep, perfect. Stay on the first page. Yeah, okay, great. First page, yeah. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you have joined from. Very warm welcome to everyone. Thanks for joining. Next page, please. This is a presentation by Idea Capital Ventures. So Idea Capital is one of the two organizers here. One is obviously Idea Capital Ventures, and the second is Startup Network. The entire event is powered by Idea Capital Ventures. We have Almond Vertex as our platform, virtual platform partner. Today we have about 10 startups, that have been shortlisted. They're going to pitch in a moment from now. We have one startup in deep tech. We have a couple of startups in agri-tech, couple of in consumer tech, one startup in ed tech, one startup in health tech, one startup in automotive service, one startup in digital tech, one in fashion tech. Next one, please. So a little bit about Idea Capital Ventures. We obviously work with a lot of bold and ambitious founders. So our mission is to basically invest in entrepreneurial leaders. And before investing, we obviously try to work with them very, very closely and coach them. And these entrepreneurs often build purpose-driven organizations. And we not only partner with the startups, but also with the scale-up management teams to improve all aspects of a business. We help obviously build better businesses and thereby create lasting values. And for this, we obviously employ two strategies. One is light touch, operational and strategic approach. And obviously the second one is data first approach. Next one, please. So these are the ideas to outcomes, investment, deal sourcing, and co-investment. We have got a very strong deal sourcing strategy in place. And in fact, our funnel is very, very strong, actually. Very happy to say that. We obviously work closely with our like-minded VC firms for rounds where we can also participate. Sometimes we lead, sometimes we would like to follow. Startup pitches and advisory, this is obviously a part of that initiative. And we also do strategic partnership. Next one, please. So our expertise and focus area, we bring a lot of market knowledge about 13, 14 markets around the world with obviously very strong investment and operational experience. We tend to focus on operational readiness, and obviously we commit to sustainability, which in turn sort of influences our strategy, brings operational efficiency, and overall, develop the value and unlocks the value, right? We have actually consolidated our focus on the sectors. Previously we were kind of sector agnostic, obviously barring few sectors, but over the period of time, what we have done actually recently, we have focused on 4 sectors, key sectors, right? And these are basically as follows: industrial automation, deep tech, clean tech, and health tech. Of course, in our deal pipeline, you would see some other sectors also, but these are our kind of most recent focus. And I think we believe we will continue with these 4 sectors going forward. Next one, please. So these are actually, the mandates, the startups in our recent deal pipelines. As you can see, we have startup in, fintech space, digital, consumer IoT, health tech, consumer IoT, I would say, automotive service, industrial IoT, influencer marketing, and a couple of others. Next one, please. So this is the team that has actually put this event together. I'm very proud of them. Pooja is obviously on my team. She's an analyst and coordinator. Thaneshwar is from BN Angel. Avinav is obviously from Almond Vertex. So we are actually live streaming this event today on their platform. And obviously we have joined by a very strong team, Kunal, Orvi, Ritvik, Palak, Ashish, Sweta, and others. We are also joined by Kate and Lena. Kate is actually the event manager from Startup Network side, and Lena is basically the head of SIA Startup Battle. So they are also going to monitor the voting today. Right, we are also have 3 sponsors. So one is Network VC, and we also have Syndicate Fund, Silicon Valley Syndicate Club, actually, from San Francisco Bay Area. So there are a couple of sponsors that we have today. Next one, please. So I formally warmly welcome. This is obviously Christmas season, right? Christmas is almost there, right? Couple of days. So we're going to celebrate Christmas, and people are going to go on vacation. So very warm welcome to each and everyone. Very happy to have this strong jury board. Obviously, this is going to be a 3-minute pitch, followed by 3 to 5 minutes Q&A. And if you are interested, you can always chat with the participant offline or take it offline. If you're further interested, we can always connect them with the startup that you are interested in for follow-on discussions. All those things can be done. Okay, and next one. So yeah, thank you. That's my introduction. Okay, a little bit about me. Can you just go back 2 slides up? Yes. No, next one. The team slide, the next one. Yeah. So I'm the managing partner at Idea Capital Ventures. I have about 22 years of experience. I graduated from IIT Delhi, where obviously Parag is senior to me, quite senior actually, from the same institute. Very happy to have Parag today here. I'm also an alum of UC Berkeley School of Business. I happen to have a Crunchbase investor rank, quite good actually at some point in time. I don't know why, but somewhere around 19,000 at some point in time. So I always obviously try to sow it wherever I get an opportunity. Okay, so thank you all. Thank you. Warm welcome to everyone. So next, I think I'll just hand it over to Abhinav to give a quick brief for about 2 to 3 minutes regarding the virtual platform that we are hosting this event on today. Over to you, Abhinav.
Great, thanks. Can you all hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And can you see my screen?
Yes.
I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So first of all, thank you so much, Subrata, for believing in us and taking us as a partner. And good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone, based on what location you are. I see a global audience out here. I'll not take much time, but I want to start with saying that we are privileged and to be a partner of this entire pitch event that we do. And this is our 3rd edition together. And what Almond comes in picture is very interesting, and why even we started. Very well-known philosopher Lenin said that there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. And that's exactly what was happening in the industry, where around $270 billion are spent, every year on some key areas, which are primarily related to physical or offline activities. And these offline activities like events, sampling, education, etc. And these areas comes with massive challenges. Number one, human dependence. We are going through the great resignation right now. And there is a massive importance of why human dependence is extremely critical. Inconsistent communication. When human comes in picture, the communication sometimes gets into Chinese whisper, as they say. Unreliable measurement. So because there are things which are not measurable, and combining all these 3, there was cost which is rising. So in 2018, we launched Almond. Almond actually powers customer engagements through digital solutions. And what we normally do in plain and simple languages, our platforms organizes hybrid and virtual events. They help brands do product education in a nano format. We digitize the sampling processes which used to be done offline. And we also manages loyalty and rewards. So if you see, combine all these 4, we are primarily replacing physical activities with digital, with the help of our humanly interactive, data-driven, cost-effective, internet-agnostic, and AI and ML-powered solutions. And with these solutions, we were able to save up to 70% of cost in compared to offline activities. These solutions delivered result 3 times faster. We were able to deliver 50% better information retention, and everything was measured in real time. So for example, right now, if there are 220 people watching it live on Vertex platform, the organizers might know exactly what kind of content that they are engaging with, what kind of sponsors they are talking to, and what kind of analytics can be driven with these kind of solutions. And here is the engagement platform that we have built. We have Vertex, on which we are hosting today's event as well. It's a hybrid and virtual experience platform, which has bagged 5 Guinness Book of World Records for hosting world's largest of the largest science conferences worldwide. We have an internet agnostic video and audio engagement platform, which is used by brands to educate their last mile, or when I say last mile, their retailers, painters, drivers, or any community about their products with short format video format, like less than 1 minute video with a lot of engagement. Vouch is India's first digital sampling platform used by primarily FMCG brands to get the physical samples delivered digitally. We have Wider, which is also one small part of Wingage, which allows us to interactively create videos. And combining all these 4, we have a silo, which is also known as instant gratification and reward platform, WeGift. Now with these solutions, we also have a couple of interesting brands internationally who were using our products, and now we are also scaling our market to US, from the World Bank to Nestle, from the Coca-Cola to Asian Paint, UNICEF to FMC, NIIT to Hyundai. All of these brands have been using our solutions in various innovative ways. So far, we were able to grab around 75 B2B clients. Around 80% of our business is repeat or referral. And overall, we have delivered 200 plus subscriptions of these kind of projects. Very delighted to talk about some recognitions. We won Business World Stacktor Award this year. We also bagged 5 Guinness Book of World Record. We are also very honored by Director General's honor by State of Punjab and government for our philanthropic efforts. We are also covered by various media houses. And recently we won NASSCOM's Macathon Award for creating engagements through digital. Well, now since the COVID has changed the way how digital adoption has happened, Wall Street Journal reported that around 3x increase in adoption of digital experiences. We particularly envision that the industry, which was targeted for $270 billion, could create a CAGR of 26% and can go up to $700+ billion in next year. And hence we see that our platforms are the future of education, retail, events, and exhibitions. And that's pretty much from our side. Thank you so much for the opportunity to interact here. And we are also going for a raise of investment. So if there is any interest from the VCs that we have out here, I'll be more than happy to speak to you on it. Thank you so much. And once again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you. I give it back to Subrata. Over to you, Subrata.
Thanks, Abhinav. So let's start with the jury introduction. Can you have the jury members introduce themselves, please?
Sure, I can go first.
Yes, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ali Fidri. I'm an investment principal with Reflex Capital. Reflex Capital is a technology-focused fund based in Chennai. So we evaluate and invest in businesses where technology is a key pivot to the business model, both on the B2B and the B2C side. Otherwise, we are agnostic by industry verticals. In terms of check sizes, we start off with about $500,000 to start with at the lower end, and we can go up to $2 million on the higher end. So by definition, we straddle between angel seed right up to pre-series A. And we're happy to co-invest with like-minded investors. As a structure, we are a SEBI-registered Category 1 fund. Thank you.
Thanks, Ali. Next one, please. Yes, Amita.
Yeah, hi, good morning to all participants, and thanks, Subrata, for this opportunity. So I'm Amita Todi, successfully an entrepreneur in HR software space and working for more than 10 plus years in diverse industry settings. But yes, I'm very passionate about this young and enthusiastic people with their unique ideas and disruptive thoughts in the startup ecospace. Now I started Agility as a Canada partner, where Agility started their platform in year of 2020. And to learn more about startup investing and angel investing, The idea was born out of to democratize angel investing and to allow potential investors to experience a new asset class. So far, we have 1,000+ angels from across the globe, established 10 chapters in India, 6 international chapters in UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, London, Toronto, and Sydney. We've so far funded more than 20+ startups and raised over $4 million from our investors lobby. So that's from my side. So we will be happy to co-invest and work with like-minded investors again.
Thank you, Amita.
Hey, hi, good morning. Myself Murali Krishna. So I had the investment, the family office investments for Kolte Patel developers, basically the family. The primary business of the family is into real estate. It's a listed, public listed real estate developer. But on the family office side, we are sector agnostic. We do across all asset classes. We do across all, alternative asset investments, be it fund, be it startup. The typical ticket size vary from 500,000 to 2 million. Mostly we do co-investment. Either we go, with a fund or another family comes in. So that's what the transaction do. And PropTech is one segment which is we are keen and very aggressively looking on to. Otherwise, we are sector agnostic. We are invested in be it the EV vehicle side, be it the education side. So across the sectors we have investments, but yeah, so PropTech is one of the segment which we are aggressively looking out. Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you, Murali. Yeah. Hi, Raj. Yes, please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Raj Juneja. I'm managing partner at Reflex Capital. Reflex is a newly launched fund as well. We invest in high LTV companies across the board. We are tech sector agnostic as well. But the way we have an affinity for companies which build in India, but have a global audience. So since September, we've had 5 investments so far. Average revenues are between $500,000 to $1 million. And we invest anywhere between $100,000 to $300,000 in any given round. And yeah, so that's about us. We're based out of Gurgaon and Bangalore.
Thanks, Raj.
Yeah, I can go next. Yeah, thank you, Subrata, for inviting me again. It's a pleasure to be here, and I see a few familiar faces. And it's good to be among such esteemed colleagues across the region. My name is Nick Lowerson. I'm the managing partner of Lowerson from Sweden, or LVS. We are an active investor. We invest globally in Industry 4.0, new energy, media, biotech, and healthcare. We are stage agnostic, but we do need an active role in the Asia and in particular the China expansion of our portfolio companies. That's it.
Thank you, Nick. Welcome again.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to add my introduction to Nick's. Thank you, Subrata, for giving me this opportunity. For the ones who haven't met me yet, I'm Gaio. I'm a senior finance executive with more than 20 years of experience focusing on financial management and administration, as well as operations management within startups, SME organizations. I'm experienced in developing and management technology and manufacturing companies with an expertise in financial and operational performance analysis, optimization and management of international tax credits, as well as proven experience in establishing and opening foreign subsidiaries and branches across Southeast, Eastern, and Central Europe. Mostly my background is modest. I'm an FBA professional with an MBA in finance. Nevertheless, my current employment is a chief financial officer of Fashion Union LLC. The company is a leading clothing manufacturer specialized in the production of light knitwear. 4 years ago, this was a startup. Nevertheless, I didn't accompany to the CEO and the owners in the first year of their operations commencement. But from the second year, I really helped them in accessing to finance, optimizing organization, hiring appropriate personnel, and of course, everything that goes with it. Aside of my full-time employment. I'm a Chief Operating Officer of Aimcube Limited, which is a UK-based fintech startup enterprise, which developed an innovative global trading platform with an AI overlay. I also did the same thing within the Aimcube, as I did with a Fashion Union LLC, and we are now in the Series A stage of investment. Aside of my employment, I'm a current Chief Executive Officer of Serbian Management Association, which is a non-profit organization, and also a think tank for the West Balkans. We organized various events in the past couple of years, mostly focusing on compliance, investment management industry, fintech, digital transformation, and of course, our other goal is to attract foreign direct investments and make Serbia and surrounding countries more appealing with economic development. So that would be pretty much what I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vanka.
Thank
Next
you.
one, please.
Subrata.
Hi, I'm Parag from Inventors India. I'm based out of Bangalore. We run a fund, an early stage fund focused on technology. Think about consumer internet, software as a service, deep tech, and fintech, those kind of areas. We have made 32 investments till date. We have been in India, operating in India since 2008, 32 investments till date. Redbus, Policy Bazaar, Healthify Me on the consumer side, and we have a significant number of investments on the B2B side as well, about 40-45% of the portfolio in companies like Unboxed, Move in Sync, Tricog, and others. So that's who we are. 5 of us invest 5 to 15 crores in companies in the technology segment. Thanks.
Thank you, Parag.
I can go next.
Yes, please.
This is Dinesh. Hi, everyone. I'm a partner at Leo Capital. Personally, I've been an entrepreneur all my life, 3 years back, switching tables and relaxing a bit. For Leo Capital, we are a Singapore-based fund. We write seed pre-A kind of checks, like 1.5 million to 2 million, though we can go, we can start at like 500K as well and go up to like 3-4 million as well. Sector agnostic, tech is the common theme. Half of our portfolio would be, India consumer, B2B platforms and all, and then rest half would be more, I would say, global SaaS, deep tech. Have done 35 investments so far in last 3.5 years. So like 10 investments a year. That's the rhythm. Thank you.
Thanks, Dinesh.
So good morning to everybody, and great to be here, Subrata. So I'm Captain Sameer Khula. I'm a 4th generation Army officer with a little over 2 decades of experience, which spans the armed forces, entrepreneurship, as well as the corporate sector. So I've been involved with the startup sector since 2006, when 3i funded OH Media, and also when CX Partners funded Matrix Cellular. So my company's name is Striker, and we are into facility management since 2010. What we're looking at is, whether startups are solving new problems or solving the same problems differently, which markets you're going to address and how you're going to address them, your ability to execute ruthlessly with scalability, and finally, the profile of the founders, in terms of leaderships, especially when it comes to large, complex teams with resilience and consistency, which is something which I call leadership under fire. So wish you all the best. And in case anybody would like any kind of guiding or coaching in the future, I'm very happy to extend any help there. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Kular. Do you have anybody else? I think we are done with it. I am not sure whether Hesam has been able to join today. Hesam, are you there? I think we're good to go. I think he's not there. Arvi, can you please take over from here and start the startup presentation?
Sure, sir. So first of all, I would like to welcome all of you to Unicorn Pitches India, part of world's largest startup pitch contest, where famous international VCs and business angels meet extraordinary startups from all around the world. So along with that, I would like to welcome our first startup pitch from CareMap. So can we have your pitch?
Yeah, judges, please start voting. once the startup pitch starts, right? You have been given with the personal voting link. You have to open it in the incognito mode of your browser, then it will work. Thank you. Yes, Arvind.
Yes, can we have Ajay from CareMap for their presentation?
Sure. I'm trying to share my screen, but it says the host disabled participant screen share.
1 second.
Ritvik, can you please enable him to share his screen? Ritvik?
Yes, sir, he's sharing that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm able to share the screen now.
Great.
I hope you all can see the screen.
Yes, we can.
And it's changing, right? The slides.
Yeah, they are changing.
All right. Okay. Would you let me know when to start?
Yes, you can start now.
All right. Okay. Good morning, panel. This is Ajay from Chirayu Tech India Private Limited. We started in 2016 with an aim to revolutionize healthcare. And having been in this industry for about 5 years, we narrowed down a few set of problems that we decided to address. We are coming across many hospitals and clinics that are using solutions from different service providers, leading to information deadlock. And this also gives a very fragmented experience. Services like HIS, appointment booking system, etc. And we're also seeing that there are a lot of patients who book appointments but end up waiting for long hours. And in spite of their data being available on the HIS, they're not able to access it. And we have also come across many pharmaceutical companies, pharmacies, and laboratories that are looking for tools to take their business online and market their products and services online. So the solution is CareMap integrated with Telearogya. CareMap is an extensive HIS platform. It also has extremely efficient click-based EHR, which can cater up to 15 plus specialties. CareMap also has basic marketing tools inbuilt in it, whereas Telearogya is our mobile app, and it offers services like appointment booking system, which is token based. We also offer teleconsultations, and we're also working on medicines, door delivery of medicines and laboratory services through hyperlocal market, bringing them online. And patients are able to now access their data on Telearogya. So 5 years since the inception, we have about 850,000 users registered in our platform, and we are spread across 20 cities in India, mostly South India, and we're showing 100% growth in revenue this year. And we have about 120 plus clients so far, and all this with almost zero marketing budget. The competitive advantage is that CareMap and Telearogya together stay as an integrated ecosystem that bridges the data gap between all the stakeholders of healthcare and providing a seamless experience. We had clients who were so interested and believed in us that they ended up being our shareholders. So bringing in their prominent network as well as insights. And HIS is a very huge application, so it's very hard to replicate and it's time-consuming process. So we have built the product now, and now is the time for aggressive marketing and sales. And the timing couldn't be any better because doctors are actively looking for alternative solutions right now. And we are looking for a fund of $750,000, which will be utilized over a period of 2 years. And we will be utilizing these funds to mainly for aggressive, extensive marketing plus developing a very strong business development team. We want to develop the product further to be able to cater to bigger segments And we are sure that we'll be able to generate a revenue of $858,000 in 2 years through various subscriptions and service charges. Our goal is to attract 500 clinics and hospitals, 1,000 pharmacies and laboratories each, and we also want to cater to 1 million healthcare receivers in these 2 years.
So your time is up. Now the judges can ask the question.
Yeah.
So hi, this is Murli here. So how do you compare this with a Practo or a Liberate kind of a sector where already they're connecting between the doctors and the the customers?
I understand. So this is not the first time we have come across this question. So we stand out from Practo because, okay, let's say Practo provides one part of the service. They're allowing appointment booking system, etc. But they don't have a solid HIS, as in hospital information system, in place. And even though they have bought, InstaHealth, the applications are not integrated. So they act as two different silos or two different ecosystems that are completely disconnected. Whereas we are providing, end-to-end solutions from the start to end. A patient can avail, services from appointment booking system to discharge summary to follow-ups, all in one platform. Even doctors will be able to cater to their patients in just one platform. They do not depend on multiple platforms to manage their clinic and engage their engage their patients. So this is how we stand out.
Ajay, thank you for your presentation. Can you tell us a bit who's your competition and what differentiates you among your competitors? I mean, you already show us your competitive advantage. Nevertheless, I would like to hear more about who are your exact competitors and what makes you attractive compared to them.
Okay, I don't have the slides since we won't be able to put everything across. So, however, when you talk about HIS, that is hospital information system. So CareMap is our HIS, and its competitors are InstaHealth. You could say InstaHealth or eClinicalWorks, eClinicalWorks, etc. And when you're talking about the app, mobile app, Telearogya, our competitors are Practo, M-Fine, etc. But there are no competitors for Telearogya and CareMap combined. I mean, when CareMap is integrated with Telearogya, there are no competitors currently in the market because there is nobody catering to. There is nobody who has integrated HIS solution with a mobile app. So currently there are none available in the market, at least in India.
Thanks for the answer. Can I ask one more additional question that is as a continuation to this previous? As far as your market traction, including that you already acquired more than 800,000 patients, as I understood, and around 120 clients like hospitals, clinics, and so on. Can you tell us how far are you from reaching a break-even point? Is it as you have mentioned within the part of your presentation where you've shown how much of raising do you want it to happen, like 750K, that in the next 2 years you're acquiring 858,000. Is that your break even? And what is your current revenue?
Okay, so our current revenue stands at 50 lakhs per year. It would be
how much could if you translate it to US dollars, what is the currency exchange?
It would be somewhere around
70,000.
Yeah, $70,000. So that is the current revenue, and we are actually almost breaking even. We are almost breaking even already, but at this point of time we want to scale up the product. We want to scale up and grow bigger, be able to reach out to many other clients. And with this fund, I believe we'll be able to break even in within the next 2 years, because we have already developed the product. What we are looking at is scaling up market-wise. We want to aggressively market our product and scale up. So
great,
yeah,
great. You have answered to my question. Thank you very much.
Hi Ajay. Thanks for your presentation. My questions are around your customer acquisition and go-to-market strategies. Could you shed some light as to how you're going about acquiring these folks, especially on the patient side as well as on the other side? But overall, what are the cost structures and the unit economics attached to this as well? It would be great to get some sense around that.
Okay. So when it comes to doctors side, I mean the organization side, we are depending currently on referral marketing. That is, our clients refer our product to some other doctors or their peers. This is happening, and we are able to generate at least 10 leads in a month currently, just through this. And we are also going on door-to-door sales, etc. And when it comes to the patient side, we'll have to depend on digital marketing, but digital marketing is very expensive. So we'll have to come up with other forms of, lead generation. And since you can see that, we are having about 30,000 follow-ups that are happening per month. So we want to kind of generate leads from this here. From this, basically we'll be depending on our doctors to generate leads. And currently on our video consultation platform, most of the consultations that are happening are follow-ups. So we are getting the leads directly from the doctors. So this is one. When it comes to the cost structure, it is mainly subscription charges, yearly subscription charges. So yearly subscription charges, and it'll depend. So let's say a clinic will be charged differently. It is somewhere about $1,000, it's somewhere about $500 for clinics, and for hospitals it will be somewhere around $2,500, etc. A medium-sized hospital, a hospital with just 50 to 100 beds, etc. So as the size of the hospital increases, will be the price varies. It will be again yearly subscriptions.
Hi, I'm Puneet here. I would like to add to this point. So if you consider go-to-market strategy, our approach is to acquire on the back-end side, like hospitals and clinic side, where acquiring one hospital will give us, daily basis, like a lot of patients on a daily basis. So we are acquiring users through the doctor. And our go-to-market strategies, we are convincing the doctors because they are able to give out digital prescriptions to the patients in a minute. So that is our selling point, and we are going through the back end for the user acquisition. So our marketing will be spent on the acquiring hospitals and clinics, but that will be again helping us acquire users like patients in a very scalable basis on a daily basis.
And also
nobody has done this. Like everyone is like when Ajay told there are different competitors with different siloed products. So this approach is not brought out by anybody else. Everyone is going to market to patient, and the patient never tells the doctor that this app is good. The doctor, tells the patient that this app is good, there are a lot of patients coming in.
Exactly.
So this is our approach for the market.
Sorry to interrupt.
This has been working.
Sorry guys, your time is up. So now I would like to welcome our next starter.
Anita, you can chat with them offline maybe.
I'll do that.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
So for our next starter, we would like to welcome Rootscoach. So can we have Sachin to present their presentation?
Thank you. I'm just going to share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Perfect. Thanks again. My name is Sachin, and I'm the CEO of a company called Rootscoach. So we are working in AI and deep tech for quality assessment and market intervention. So we started our company in 2018, and we collaborated with University of Agriculture Sciences in Bangalore, where we started a project called Maize Business School. So there we started working with maize, and the two main issues that we came across was the pricing for the farmers, both farmers and the traders, and both of them were having a problem with the valuation of the. So we built an algorithm and also built a process itself and integrated into the mobile application to collect the data and run the analysis based on the AI and ML algorithms. So this is a typical situation where the farmers and traders negotiate and further comes with an very, very non-objective way with their subjective understanding of the quality of maize in this case. So that's where the Rootscoach comes with a solution and provide them the moisture level and the fungus level for the maize, for example, in this case. And and give them an objective way of quality assessment. So the demand in India itself has been rising, and in 2022, this is the number. In 2022, this is the number that is focused, and we're focusing only on the 5% of the market with all practical implications as a small startup. So you can see on the left-hand side, there's a graph after the intervention, 15 to 20% of the price increase for the farmers who worked with us. So far, we worked with 5,000 farmers who registered with us. From last 2 years, we are working with the farmers in central Karnataka region. Further, all the services for quality assessment for farmers are free, and per each transaction, we take 1.5% to 2% with the buyers. Buyers like Cargill, Suguna Chickens are primary collaborators with us. Now we are talking with the National Commodity and Derivative Exchange as well. So on the right-hand side, you can see the numbers are increasing every year, and we are a small team, and we are focusing mainly on building the tech. And to have a skin in the game, we also sometimes trade so that we know the reality of the traders. So for go-to-market strategy with our mobile application, we have collaborated with the University of Agricultural Science Bangalore, and IASC have bought 1% of the company, which is Indian Institute of Science partners, and manage which funds most of the agriculture projects in India. Have collaborated with us to reach the data points which will be useful for the understanding of the AI. And Niti Aayog has collaborated with us now through their incubation arm to use our technology to the different other states as well. So competitive advantage, we have patents applied in India and Germany, and maize is one of the international crops. So we are we are positioning to be a global company and go to different other maize producing countries. So this is a competitive matrix with some other competition that we have come across so far. And so we have one of the VC partner who already on board, and now we want a couple of other like-minded capital resource holders to come and join us. So yeah, now we are focusing for this pitch. We are focusing on 265,000 USD, and more majorly this will be used to improve the ML model that we have already used, that we're already using, and also we'll introduce some tools for financial tools for the traders and also the farmers. Without saying, most of the money will eventually go to increase the data points as well. So this is how we look at ourselves in the coming days as a farmers, connecting farmers to the three main stakeholders, two other stakeholders, logistics and buyers, and their quality assessment. So yeah, thank you so much. We have further slides as well. So this is the slide which we are going to the next other countries in coming years. Now we're in Karnataka, and we are going to Bihar through Niti Aayog now with the technology, and next to Australia, we are talking with Fontana, which is an animal husbandry company. And in Kenya and Nigeria also, we are talking. We already talked with them for white maize quality assessment with the World Food Program. So
sorry to interrupt in between, but your time is up. Can we have the questions?
Thank you. Thank you.
Sachin, I have a question. So this is only for maize. You cannot expand it to other crops, or?
Yeah. We're focusing on maize right now. We want to go global with that, only for maize. Yeah, with all practical and with the optimistic purpose, we would like to go to other crops as well. But we want to ensure that we want to be one of the players to be known for the maize in the global.
Okay. And you say next year you're gonna go into Australia?
Yes, that's our idea. Yeah.
What's the main hurdles? Do you need to talk to the certification?
Yeah, so far, some of the hurdles are that we are trying to reach out to the decision makers, like for example, in Fontana, probably you guys have heard about the company, to basically use a product to quality assess when they buy it. So to reach them is the challenge for us so far, to get time and then making it applicable in their systems. That's the kind of challenge we are talking with them. So that's something which is taking time also.
Okay. And what is the quality of the pictures? I guess that I have the app, need to take a picture. What is the quality of the pictures needed to assess with a high degree of certainty that, you know, the quality of the crops is what it is? And how many pictures do you need? I mean, if I have a ton or 10 tons in a silo, you know, the top layer can be good and the bottom layer can be moldy. So how do you assess this?
We per quintal, which is 100 kgs, we ask them to send around 10 pictures at different angles. There is a protocol for each climatic regions, depending on if it is rainy, if it is high temperature region. So if it is very high temperature, the number of photographs will be lesser, because the lesser level of moisture and also the incidence of fungus will also be lesser. So it depends on the geolocations and also the climatic condition of the geolocations. On the standard, it's 10 pictures per quintal, which is basically 100 pictures per 1 ton. So it is most how do I say it? It's a very stringent way of taking picture where there is a very low level of temperature and high rainfall region.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, Ali, you can go next, please.
Sure. Thanks, Sachin. It was a good presentation. Can you just help me understand the technology in more detail, especially the middleware and the hardware requirements? Also, taking off from what Nick was asking earlier, what are the requirements a user needs to have? Is it just a simple, mobile phone, or is there anything more to it?
Yeah, we try to keep it as simple as possible, because the user experience for the farmers, it's better to have them very simplistic way. So primary thing is that they use only mobile phones, and then the photographs will be taken based on the protocols of the geolocations, and then their location, latitude and longitude will also be tagged with the photographs. And then this deep tech analysis have two parts. One is image processing, which suggests the fungus level and also detects the inert materials, which basically decides the physical part of the quality. And then the next part, which is a deep tech analysis, understands and runs the weather data from last 10 years, 5 years, and 5 months and 5 days data. Based on that, it suggests the moisture level of the maize. So these are two parts in the whole system.
And this happens at the point of usage itself, is it? So it's like an IoT device in a way.
So IoT, that's quite challenging to have different terms. So it runs, the photographs comes to the servers, and servers runs these two algorithms, and then make it in a PDF copy and sends it to them, to the farmer and also the traders. If they want to have a transaction on our platform, they are welcome. We also provide transportation, which last mile delivery as well, picking up and dropping from the farmers to the buyers. But if they don't want to do it, they can also.
No, but Sachin, I'm just trying to understand the TAT. So how long does it take for the output to come out? Is it
right now? It takes half a day. Right now, the results will come, but the data is not so high collected. So there is an expert who's sitting and checking it as well once more.
Understood. Okay. And any data monetization models you have?
Not yet. All these revenues that we have generated are primarily through the transactions that we have done as well to have the skin in the game. But there are multiple models that you guys also know: subscriptions, data monetization, all these things. We haven't done it yet. So
okay, and that can reduce over time, right? From half a day to.
Absolutely, yes. It is pretty quick, but I just don't want to overpromise. So I'm telling you the half a day, because sometimes the experts are busy with some other things, and most of the experts are professors in university, and some are their interns who are coming, and some are. So we are trying to handle all these experts who are in agriculture. They're pretty much less in resource, even though we have an office in just in University of Agriculture Science. The resources are pretty far, and it's pretty less, and it's very hard to make them sit and work with the technologists as well. So that's some practical things, but ideally it will take, it is pretty quick.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Sachin.
Thanks.
Judges, please vote the previous startup as well as this one. Yeah, Gaio, your question, please, quickly.
Thank you. I'll be short. In terms of your market traction, would you be kind to shortly elaborate more on your current status in terms of achieved revenue? I saw that there is like $60,000 achieved by the end of 2020, and by expressing revenue figures for each year in the US dollars, as well as to elaborate on your assumptions that expected revenue will surely increase, rise up by the end of 2021, since we are approaching the closure of 2021. Can you be more expressive what is going to happen in 2022 if you don't receive an expected investment? Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for the question. So yeah, primarily what happens is if we also trade along with the traders. So these are the numbers which have been projected, considering we are also trading with them, along with the other buyers who are registered with us. So it is very meager numbers what we have mentioned here. So what we have achieved in this last 3 years are also it's very, very small, considering the quantum in which we are dealing with the buyers and the traders, because we make them give them this analysis of grading, and also we also give them procurement schedules and pipe for the buyers and sales pipelining for the farmers at the same after the quality assessment. So we haven't monetized any of that part. So all these numbers are which are mentioned here have come up only after we trading it, and $60,000 we can do it with just 5 farmers or 6 farmers. It's not something really big. But we have mentioned this numbers, and we are focused on this numbers, which is 60,000, because to show the commitment we have, and also that's how we think we are paying the salaries through these numbers. There's only 8 people working in the team overall, and all the salaries, they are working at lesser salaries, I agree, but the salaries are given with these numbers so far. And
so what's your exact number by the end of this year? Did you achieve this forecasted revenue of 60,000, or
yeah, so far
I'm really sorry to interrupt in between, but the time is up. But you can answer the question in the group.
Thank you.
You can answer it on the chat. So for our next startup,
thank you everybody, and have a good day.
So for our next startup, I would like to welcome Parkmate Dhananjay. So Dhananjay, can we have you on the screen?
Yes, I'm just sharing my screen. Just confirm if you can see my screen now.
Yes.
Is my presentation?
Yeah, your presentation is visible.
Should I start?
Yes, you can start.
This is what average morning of a metro city in India looks like. Cars everywhere, parked anywhere, everywhere, wherever you can see. And we are going to change that. We are Parkmate. We are Parkmate, and we are going to change how India parks its cars. We have done an extensive study of 16 months, and we have found out there are 3 aspects of why this parking congestion problem exists. First is obviously there are more cars on roads than the available parking spots, and nothing much can be done about it, because this is actually the government's domain, and not much can be done about it. The second is the parking indiscipline among people. Wherever they find a space, let's park it. And the third one is the time wasted by people in looking for a parking spot. And as per an IBM survey of 2014, a car driver wastes up to 19 minutes just to look for a parking, just to find a parking. Now this number has increased over 2021. What we are going to do with Parkmate in place, all you have to do is simply enter your destination and tell us where you're going. By the time you will reach there, you'll find a parking buddy standing and waiting for you. He'll take your car, he'll geotag it, and he'll park it for you. And whenever you want to go back, not necessarily in the same location. Suppose you were at, let's say, Starbucks Connaught Place. Then on an average scenario, you will have to waste around 20-25 minutes just to park your car, which will be most probably 800 meters away from Starbucks or somewhere else. And whenever you have to go back, just click get my car, and wherever you are, not necessarily at Starbucks now, suppose you decided to walk with your friends and we are now somewhere in Janpat, your car will be delivered then and there. Your car will be geotagged, so you can easily track where my car is and what is the exact ETA for a car to be delivered. It saves time and it saves fuel. As per our calculation, a regular car owner of a small car of around Baleno wastes around a fuel of 59 rupees just to park a car in a day. And it will be a luxury white glove luxury experience. And the service will be available for just 49 rupees, which turns around just 65 cents in dollars. Before starting our project, we have done a prototype test result for 14 days in Karol Bagh, New Delhi, which is one of the biggest cluster markets in Delhi with the biggest parking problem. In those 14 days test run, we parked around 1,302 cars and generated a revenue of 63,798 rupees. These are our plans and projections. Currently, we are already working with two of the biggest malls. One of the biggest mall is DLF Mall of India. Second one is Boulevard Walk in Greater Noida. We are also working in Karol Bagh, Connaught Place, Sector 18 Noida, DLF Mall, as we mentioned, Lajpat Nagar, Amar Colony. We are just 26 days old, and currently our customer acquisition cost is $0.8 with an LTR of $31.36 per year, considering a customer books at least 4 bookings per month. Why? Because for every 4th booking, we are giving a free car wash to all our customers. We plan to acquire around 1.12 million customers by the 13th month. Please excuse me. Currently, we are just 26 days old, but we have succeeded in establishing partnerships with Karol Bagh, DLF Mall of India, Investors Clinic, which is the biggest real estate service provider in Delhi NCR. Excuse me, and Boulevard Walk Mall, Greater Noida.
Sorry,
The competition.
I'm really sorry to interrupt in between, but your time is up. So can we have the questions?
Hi, this is Murli here. So I'm just interested to understand how this model is scalable, because most of these cities, the problem itself is the space for parking. And when you say even if you say that you find the parkings, and how this can be scalable to another city like a Bombay city. So Bombay, the problem itself is the space. So how we manage that part. So malls and all other things are separate, but on a public parking where the major revenue is there, how we manage that?
I'll tell you what, exactly, we are not hiring our own valets. We are actually partnering with the parking operators and parking contractors who are already managing the parking spaces. The problem is with those parking spaces, they have parking spaces, but the spaces are not managed well. So with our application base, you can get those places managed, and a user who's using our application will not even have to park in the parking. Since we will be aware where exactly the parking spot is available. That is a thing that we have integrated in our app, in our valet application module. We'll come to know wherever the parking is available. That is how we are going to manage. If a customer is delivering his car, we'll get it and park into the nearest available space. And we are not covering by just one locality. If suppose your location is there within 800 meters to 1.5 kilometers, wherever the parking is available, we'll come to know.
Hi, Dhananjay. I think my question here is, I think it's related to what was asked about scalability and also around competition. There are folks like Go Mechanic who have these devices, right? The onboard diagnostic devices, which also geo-fence your car. It can find a lot of information for you and give it to you on your mobile.
Like the OBD ones, right?
Correct. So there is a potential for them to also over time start to map out where the parking spots are, right? So that negates the need for me to find a valet to park the car, right? Because if I know if I'm going to, like your example was CP Starbucks, if beforehand if it's integrating with my Google Maps or something like that, wherein it's telling me, hey, these are the spots to park and these are the parkings available, would that not become a business continuity risk for your venture?
Actually, that won't happen. I'll tell you why. Because already NDMC is having an application in place which tells you where the parking spot is available and how many are available. Mm-hmm. Secondly, also there are applications by the name of Park Plus, Get My Parking, Parking Ground, which are offering this online pre-booking of parking spaces where you will come to know where the parking space is. But the case and the ground reality is, even if you come to know where your parking is, you'll still have to drive to that parking space. And in most of the cases, the parking spaces are 500, 800, even 1 kilometers away. I'm in Delhi NCR. I have witnessed this problem. I've used this application. That's why we are aware. We conducted a survey for almost 90 days, and we found out that the people are not finding this as to be a solution to the actual problem. Even if you come to know, you still have to drive to the parking space. In this case, with our application place, you don't even have to drive to the parking. Please excuse me.
Dhananjay, how are you sizing the market?
Dinesh, can you just have Gayo very quickly? I think he has raised his hand.
Thank you, Subrata. My question would be short. I didn't quite understood. Do you have a software, or you're still in the development stage?
So we have our application.
Yeah.
Sorry. Please, sorry.
No. Please elaborate. What is your current status? Are you in MVP stage? What is left to be done? Can you elaborate more on the technical side of your software, of your product generally?
We are live and running right now. Our application is available on App Store and Play Store both. We are already live and running in 4 locations in Delhi NCR.
Thank you.
Dinesh, can you have your question, please?
Market size. How are you doing?
Market size. As per the latest study, the market size is $5 billion.
I want to understand how you arrived at $5 billion. Again, the question is scalability. I mean, what's the assumption around? Do you go outside of metro cities or tier 1?
Yes, actually, I'll be very true. There is no specific study being conducted by any other body around the world to identify what is the actual market size of, because it's an unorganized sector right now. But a study was conducted by Get My Parking, and they have come up with this number of that parking management is a $5 billion market as of 2019. There's no official number available.
It doesn't make sense, Dhananjay. I mean, if you do 7-8 times every month, you'll do fees and all. So maybe a bottom analysis might be helpful with your deck, if because the question is around the scalability and how you're breaking it up. Anyway.
So do you have time? Can I ask real quick questions?
Yes, sir. We have time.
So Commandant Dhananjay, I just wanted to know, how are you different, right? I think Park Plus has been there in the market for very long, right? You have, probably a handful of other competitors also. So how are you going to be different, right? That's number one. Number two, how are you creating parking spaces? Are you going to sort of, build or collaborate somebody in order to build multi-level parking?
I'll address the first question first. Park Plus and all other players in the market currently, what they are offering is online pre-booking of parking space. That is what they are doing. We are not offering that. We are telling our customers, just tell us where you're going. Just reach your destination. Rest will be handled by us. You don't even have to go to the parking. You don't have to pre-book the parking. You don't have to do that. Just reach your destination. Rest will be handled by us. So we are a service-specific company. And Get My Parking, and Park Plus, Parking Rano, they are the biggest players right now. And now ParkSmart is also there. What they are now focusing on is parking automation in the societies and in corporate sector. That is what they are focusing on. And the second question, how we are generating parkings? Actually, we are not generating any parkings. As I mentioned earlier, we are tying up with the parking contractors and parking operators currently. Currently what is happening? Suppose, like in Karol Bagh example, since we are operational there, will tell you there are around 17 parking places in Karol Bagh, but out of these 17, only 4 are occupied. And as per the studies, not even a single multi-level parking of Delhi NCR is 50% occupied. Most of the multi-level parkings are not even half full. That is happening because most of the people find the nearest available parking, park the car there only. With our case, with our application place, what we are offering to the parking contractors, let us handle the cars. We'll fill your outer parkings first, which are currently empty. That is how they'll generate revenue also, and it will also help in decongesting those markets. That is why the Trader Association and the parking contractors both have come on board with us.
So we
are managing the parkings better.
So you are going to make a uniform parking heat map. So
right, that is what we are doing. We are mapping the areas first. And based on that, we set up the priority, which one has to be filled first, and later on in the second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Thank you. Yes, Arvi, next one, please.
So now, can we have the HAV group for their presentation? I would like to welcome Abdul.
Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen.
Judges, please vote. Do not forget to voting.
I'm assuming the screen is visible right now.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Perfect. So hi, everyone. My name is Abdul. I'm the co-founder and CEO of HAV. HAV is a platform rewarding steps to fitness. Our larger goal is to build a super app for health and wellness, where we only own the demand and not the supply side of things. The team along with me building this has been at it full time since June of this year. We have known each other for multiple years. We bring in complementary skill sets, and we have worked together on multiple occasions, building or launching new categories and new markets. The way we started off this with is, I used to be a national level athlete, but in the last year put on additional weight. The other co-founder had seen early signs of low BP and high cholesterol in his early 30s. We realized this is a massive problem and not just India specific, and is a global problem. We knew that 150 minutes of brisk walking could help you reduce or avoid probability of lifestyle related diseases, but it just doesn't happen, unfortunately. Lack of motivation and no peer pressure. From a timing perspective, we knew that COVID had accelerated the desire for people to look good, feel good, be good. And the fact that 5G deployment is happening in India and Southeast Asia would help us boost our growth. From an opportunity perspective, we are currently focused on the bottom 95% of the markets we operate, and not the above middle class and affluent. So it is a big market. The way we look at dollar values here is estimated ARPU multiplied into the population size. The product today is a free app users download, work as they would, earn coins. There's elements of social and gamification. At the end, all of this leads into store where they can redeem vouchers, products, and services. In the last 120 days, we have over 600K downloads. Our cost per install is less than a cent, more than or close to 80% is through referrals. Our retention and engagement metrics continue to improve, and we have more levers that we can execute. The goal is to reach 100 million downloads by the end of 2023 and focus on 750 cities across these markets. How do we make money? We have a store, listing fee. Second is ad revenues. Third is co-branded debit card, which we're launching tomorrow in partnership with Pine Labs, and an interchange fee. We're currently using a pre-proven scale-up playbook, our learnings from Oyo days. While we have users in 2,000 cities, 4 cities each have 45,000 plus. So deep city penetration model. There are definitely players like StepSetGo in India, Paceline in the US who have done it well. But our deep city penetration approach with the lightest app and the whole ecosystem coming together, we think we should be able to stand out. We have raised $850K as yet. We're right now raising a $3 million right now. Thank you. That's it.
Hey, Abdul, this is Dinesh.
Hi, Dinesh.
I would love to know more about the positioning of this competitive landscape. For example, you talk about StepSetGo. I mean, how are you different exactly? We have been seeing many companies in space for the last 7-8 years. In fact, my other partner at Leo Capital used to run one of these before he couldn't make it big. It's called Walk On, I think. So in 2013, we are seeing this, and there are some problems, which we see in terms of engagement and all, but I'd love to hear your thoughts about how are you different. Maybe talk about this slide a little bit more.
Sure. So I've spoken to Shwetank in the past, so I understand where you're coming from. But
okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So quickly, one is a deep city penetration model, right? We are not happy with 10 million downloads in India. We're happy with 10 million downloads in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. And that enables us to work with city mayors and city governments for blood discovery. Today, people go to WhatsApp and Facebook, but if you can put your blood group, and people in the 10-kilometer radius can also post a requirement and you get a notification. Similarly, we could integrate Stand Plus Help now, all the emergency ambulance service providers who are scattered across the country, right? The second thing is also the product. Today, we have instant gratification. Second is real rewards. On top of that, what you're doing is building the ecosystem. You cannot be a step tracker. So what we're doing is we have a hydration check coming in. So you walk X amount of steps, take a selfie, it'll tell you your hydration level. For women, there is a period tracking component. So it cannot be a step tracker. Today it is, but the point is we're already building those elements.
Thank you.
Hi, Abdul. Thank you for the presentation. I think it was very well done. My questions are more around how you will get engagement to continue once things taper off. Now, for most of these things that are being offered on the app, right? I think you spoke about period tracking, hydration. These are all quite a few of those things are for people who seriously want to track their fitness levels, right? I know this, where I wear an Apple Watch, I have the Aura ring for sleep and all of that, right? So people usually end up going into these siloed specialized products when they are that serious. My question is, where do you see issues in terms of engagement to get, non-serious people to kind of use it? And how will you kind of overcome that to ensure that engagement remains at a higher level, especially after that critical mass has been met in terms of user acquisition?
So it wouldn't be fair if I said I knew all the answers, but our thinking right now is that every quarter on quarter we'll have to consistently innovate, right? And we think that is where a lot of resource allocation will happen. Second is we're not focused on the people who can afford an Apple Watch or those things, right? We're looking at the people who earn up to $200, $250 a month. And because of that fact, they would find this a lot more easier because we're not monetizing user directly. We're trying to use their other day-to-day expenses where we can make in revenue. I think How do we retain engagement? It is about the deep city penetration, about working with city governments, working with shopping malls where they have lesser footfalls on a given day, working with tourism bodies, all of those, but again, bringing in features, right? So I think it cannot be a step-driven play. Steps is the first entry. You will have to evolve. There'll have to be gamification. There could be possibilities of bringing an NFT layer for the kids or people in the 16 to 24 age, all of those on top of this.
Okay. Gaio, your question, please.
Hi.
Hi, Gaio.
Great. I had some problem with my mic. Well, my question would be more concerned about your revenue generation. I mean, how much of revenue in total you generated to this day? Can you elaborate more? I mean, you can show on your slide what is the movement of your revenue from the commencement day to the day. And additionally, can you elaborate more on, did you get any value from accomplishing 3 different acceleration programs, and what was brought to the table by each of them?
Right. On the ad revenue, we started about 10 days back, and we are doing about $200 a day at this point. And we think we should be able to reach $500 by the end of second week Jan, because there's more optimizations there, right? Considering the same user base. The second is Have Store. We are going live with this revamped store version in the middle of next month. However, we have tried with 2 brands and we have made $40 only with the listing fee. We did not take commissions there because it was an experiment. On the co-branded debit card, we did activate pre-signups, and we have already got 5,000 plus pre-signups in the last 48 hours. The revenue model there is 1% plus, which is slightly over 1% for every $1.5 spent. So these are the 3 pieces. We think we are well on track to do $1 million ARR by the end of March next year. Second is on the accelerator piece. We worked with Goa Tourism. They are trying to bring in us into all the places where people don't go. You know, a lot of people go to the beaches, but there's unexplored destinations. So they want to drive traffic to that locations using us. With Workplace Accelerator, we've been able to talk to a lot of HR leaders and get opportunities. So Aditya Birla is one of the largest conglomerates in India, and they have a program called Distance to Disease. They expect to deploy us to run that program for the whole corporate. Similarly, with WebEngage, we have just done the activations. The D7 and D30 retention that we have is not reflective of what WebEngage gives us, but we should be able to shoot that up by another 10 to 15% and activate hyper-personalized insights for users.
Thank you for answering my questions. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. The time is up. If anyone has any other question, they can ask in the chat. So for our next presentation, we would like to have Good Have for their presentation. Can we have Good Live?
Hi, let me just share my screen. Yeah, just one second. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Screen is visible.
Perfect. Yeah. So, hello everyone. It's great for us to share our journey. Now, the COVID has not been a very because it's not only playing up with the anxiety, but also it's testing her role as a caregiver for the family. And our research, it came out like really important, especially for the families who have gone through the crisis and they want to make a permanent change in their lifestyle and go and use food as a way and the best health insurance. But there was a big information gap, you know, which food is best, especially on diabetes and about cholesterol, how do I lose weight? And most importantly, how do I introduce this to my child so that they don't get into the situation? Further on, there are no enough tools that she has that's helping us. It's more of hearsay or some of these groups. So 46% said that they would recommend a product if the website gives more information. So that's what we started doing. We started building the Good Life Project, which is a recommendation-based whole food subscription platform. And it stands on the 3 pillars of curated products. And these are highly differentiated staples coming directly from the farmers and lab tested. And we built our own blockchain-based traceability trust markers. We have a panel of dietitians who not only recommend these staples, but also make interesting recipes so that it can be introduced to the family. It's a very simple process where the family completes a quiz. We're able to silo them into 3 buckets, and then the recommended basket of
Dushyant,
staples.
are you changing slides because the slides are not moving? We're still still on the home screen.
Dushyant, also, can you please switch off your video so that the bandwidth improves?
Yeah. We're still on the cover slide.
And is this changing now? Is the slide changing?
No, we can't see we can't see the slides. Yeah, now we can see the slides.
All right, just one second. All right, maybe what I'll do, I'll just go through these slides, not in a slide share mode, but like this. So let me start off fresh. I was talking about young mothers who've been facing this problem and how we are helping them.
Dushyant, we still can't see the slides.
Can you ensure that I can share the whole of my desktop? Is that possible? Because I'm sharing my entire screen, but
your screen sharing is on, but your PPT is not visible.
Okay.
Yes, you can do it now.
Yes, the PPT is visible now. Yeah.
The PPT is visible now. Just 1 second. And is it changing?
No, it's not changing.
And is it changing now?
Yeah, I think do it in this mode.
Yeah,
only.
now it's changing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about this. I think there's a bit of a problem. So I'll just go back to my first slide where I was talking about young who's part of our audience, and we've been working with them. So they want to adopt a proactive approach towards through quality food and diet, but she does not have enough tools, and the family is a big concern. It takes food as self-governance. None of the brands are catering. There's some bit of information in social, but that's not clear. So we're creating a project which is a based whole food subscription platform. It's based on 3 pillars of created products. These are differentiated staples such as komal rice and millets that are coming from the 19 years that we have. They are lab tested, and we've developed our own traceability supply chain, which is we call it tracks, and we have a panel of dietitians who have developed these products and also these so that it can be introduced to the family. So it's a simple process where when the family take quiz, we are able to profile them into a specific silos, and then a basket of staples is delivered to their homes, and along with recipes which come on a daily basis. And we compare ourselves with some of the fulfillment people who are already there, but nobody is in the white space of this traceability, personalization, and the convenience that we are providing. So the space is big, and I believe we can grow it fast. And if you look at a market, especially for the organic, which is got accelerated because of our predisposition towards health, we're looking at 26% CAGR and 140 million addressable population in the top 10 cities. So we are looking at driving 2 million and new combination of membership fee, service fee, and a product gross margin. And in 3-year roadmap, we see a product as Amazon and our own website. So we've had decent traction till date. We'll finish the year with 40K revenue, and importantly, we have the building blocks of our facility and 19 SKUs, which give us access to about 500 farmers and over 100 SKUs. So,
sorry to interrupt in between, but your time is up. So can we have the judges? But you can still scroll your PPT in the question answer round.
Yeah, so we are open for questions. Sorry about this technical snag.
Yeah, Amita, you can ask that question.
Hello. Hi, greetings.
Just a second, Gayo. I think Amita just pinged on the chat. She wanted to ask a question. Amita,
Okay.
please go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to just check out Gautam. So like you were explaining about the good life of mothers to be. So what is your go-to-market strategy? How do you reach out to those to-be mothers like?
We have a corporate. We're going to the corporates and looking at Delhi NCR is where I come from, and our other co-founder is also based. So we're going to be using influencers and social media and these high-end condos as the first step. So we already have close to about 1,000 customers on our platform.
Okay, so what's the revenue model?
So our revenue model is a combination of the membership fee and there'll be service fee. So that is something that we would be launching with the dietitian and plus the product gross margin. So our product gross margin sits anywhere between a 35% to a 45%.
Okay.
Thank you. Gayo, your question, please. Amita, you are done with?
Yeah, it's okay. Let him get a chance. I'll just chat it. I'll send it on the.
Right.
Thank you.
So you might want to consider giving it to your co-founder Gautam to field some of the questions, because your internet is unstable actually.
Sure.
Yes,
Sure.
Gayo.
No problem. Yeah.
Yes, Gayo, please
Hi,
go
Gayo.
ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can you explain on how your software solution is generally functioning and how far are you from completing it? Thank you.
Sure. So we are already sort of live with our first product for the software solution. It's a very simple traceability solution using blockchain. And we have built it in such a way that if blockchain is required for advanced solutions, we can use it, or it can be a non-blockchain solution also. So the systems is twofold. First is through the web dashboard, you can upload your supply chain, your warehouse, your processing unit, and if you have the farmers, those can be uploaded. When you upload your entities, they can download our mobile app, and through the mobile app, they can essentially take the input and output pictures at each step of the supply chain. Through the picture, the metadata is captured, and then it is uploaded on the blockchain platform. Now, this data then is visualized in a very, very simple and consumer-friendly manner onto a HTML page. So when the consumer scans the QR code on the pack or on the website, he'll be taken to a web page where he can see the farm, factory, and the warehouse through which the food has come to his kitchen. And he will also see all the trust markers like certifications. Plus, in future, we have plans to add, if we can get the farmer to talk about the produce, or if the processing unit can talk about why a particular product is unique, we'll want to do that also. So the idea is slowly but steadily to create more transparency of the supply chain, as well as to create more ownership and more engagement with the supply chain through which the food is coming. Because our ultimate ambition is to sort of increase the quality of food staples that are coming into the kitchen as a way to increase the general health and well-being. And we feel that will happen only with more transparency and more trust-based solutions. So this is our very first step, very basic step is traceability, but we will definitely not stop there.
Thank you. Can you additionally answer, if you raise the money, how are you planning to spend it? Is it on further software? I mean, product development, marketing the product, or so on? So can you explain that as well?
Yeah. So Dushyant, if you can go to slide 12, I'll just take that answer. So those three key areas. One is obviously enhancing the product, the traceability solution, as well as the transparency of the supply chain. The second part is marketing. So Dushyant mentioned we have a go-to-market plans for Delhi NCR. So we want to test it out in the affluent parts of the city. We already have some data on where our orders are coming. As Dushyant said, we have 1,000 customers and we have some sense of where these orders are coming from. So the go-to-market will be one of the key parts. And then obviously, finally, the talent part, we need to set up the team. So those are the key areas.
Thank you very much for the answers. All the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, Arvi, you are on mute.
Yes, so the time is up. Can we have like the next presenter?
Judges, please vote.
Can we have VMove?
Yeah, hi. This is Rangaraj here. Can you all hear me clearly?
Yes.
Great. So I'm sharing my screen. Hope you can see it.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Is it still visible now?
Yeah, it's still visible. You can start your presentation.
Great. Hi. Good afternoon, good evening to everyone, wherever you are. And I run a company called VMove Solutions. I'm the co-founder and CEO of VMove Solutions. The whole vision of our company is to add human touch into learning. So whether it be offline or online solutions, we have been doing this for the last 7 years. So right now, the market gap that we have been seeing. So I come from the IT background, and I worked there for 10 years before I started VMove Solutions. So the market gap we have always been seeing is that, say especially in the online learning field, less than 10% of learners are actually completing their learning courses on time, and less than 1% of them actually complete it even with repeated follow-ups. So when we did our surveys with the existing customers, and also when we looked at various surveys, one of the common things that was causing a problem was that the learners were disengaged or disconnected with the video content that's available. So the solution that we have right now come up with is to create a Netflix-like learning experience where the learning is through storytelling or through short films or through series. And the best part is, as a learner, you get to control the flow of the story. So at key critical stages through the video pauses and asks the learner on what would you like to do or what would you do. And based on the choice that the learner makes and based on the process of the story flow, the learning is again connected to the story and the decisions through a questionnaire that is carefully designed using our 7 years of experience. So the global market for EdTech as such today is about 700 billion with less than 20% penetration. And Indian market itself is around 300 billion with less than 10% penetration. To just quickly talk about our product, we are unique. At least in India, there is no one, there is no other company which is actually doing this interactive video-based learning where any form of learning, whether it be technical, non-technical, or leadership kind of learnings that can be done through such interactive storytelling. So we are first into the market. We have already tested with our clients, and we launched it just a couple of months ago, and we have generated close to about $20,000 in terms of income just with the new product that we have launched. So the business model that we have is a B2C model where we would be directly taking the product into the market soon and launching it for individual users to subscribe. But the first area that we are hitting is a B2B model, because we have been working with organizations across different industries for the last 7 years, where we want to enable this B2B model in 2 modes, where we create custom learning, custom videos for the companies, and help them host our interactive videos in their existing LMS, or they actually subscribe onto our video content for their employees. So our current market reach is, we have worked with more than 40 companies in 20 cities across the world, and we have reached over 100,000 employees. And
sorry to interrupt in between, but your time is up, but you can still scroll your presentation between the questions.
No,
So,
I'll keep it at this slide. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer it based on the questions. I'll just scroll between the slides.
okay, so can we have a first question?
Yeah.
Hi, Ranjiraj. This is Ali here. Thanks for the presentation.
Hi.
If you can just give us some more flavor in terms of what kind of courses are you running, and also in terms of the user experience and the authentication which a user gets once he has kind of taken a course, either it is employability or what kind of a value that comes across with this course.
Sure, Ali. So right now, the current courses that we're looking at is right now just in the upskilling domain. It's as I said, it's a very new platform that we've launched, and we are doing it specifically for the companies where they get a leadership certification which is valid. So we have tied up with an e-certificate company which gives certificates that can be authenticated and verified across the globe, is what they are claiming. And we are in the last stage of discussions with them, and we are going to provide that certification for them. Sorry, I missed the other question you asked. So I think that was the question you wanted to know, right?
Yes, that, and also just some color on what kind of courses are these.
Sure. So the kind of courses that we have, it's ranges, like say, if you talk of just regular soft skills like communication skills or team building or leadership skills, to we have done on technical topics like say data visualization, AI, understanding the basics of AI, or industry 4.0, to actually right now we are working on a module where even programming languages like .NET and Java can be taught through such interactive video-based learning.
Understood. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for this presentation. Just to kind of give you a review, I've actually run my firm as a banker. We ran the mandates for Simply Learn, and one of my last mandates was Edureka. We helped the sale of that company, so fairly well versed with the space. And it has, it's I've seen the ups and downs in the space as well, in terms of what it takes to acquire a customer over time.
Right.
My question for you here is that with the existing competitive dynamics in place, what do you feel is your competitive advantage that that's basically going to create a barrier for the other guys to just bring up what you guys are doing, right? Interactive content.
Right.
Do you not find that this would be a bit of a threat, given how much capital people like Simply Learn have raised? They just raised a round from Blackstone as well.
Right.
So how do you look at that?
Yeah. So the thing is this, we are not just giving interactive content. Interactive content is just the platform. But the whole USP of ours is the ability to transform a content into a short film and then actually making it available. Let's say, for example, if we are doing a session on data visualization, or if we have a course on data visualization, it's not just interactive content around data visualization. The concepts of data visualization are being taught to the user by making the user solve a murder online by watching interrogation videos. So that is the USP that we come in, and that is something it's not going to be easy for our competitors to come up with, because you'll have to find someone who knows theater, who knows storytelling, and who also has worked in the corporate space. And luckily for us, and the way we have always built our company is we have always looked for people. So actually we take people from the corporate world, train them on theater, and then induct them into our company.
Okay.
So yeah, to answer your question, the platform building is easy, but our USP is the content. We are not actually selling the platform to our users or to our customers also. It's the content that we are selling.
Rangaraj, if I ask you, whom would you be selling to, corporates or the users? Like if I'm interested in learning the training on any subject that you are showcasing,
right.
So who would be our target audience?
See, right now, our first level of target audience is the corporates, because it's easier for us to sell to them, and we've been there for the last 7 years, and it's quicker money. But by end of say next year, that's by end of 2022, we want to make it available for generic users also, who can come in online and learn from us. So the target audience we are looking at the first stage is, the graduate students who are looking for a job, and people working in the corporate companies. So that's our first level. Then slowly we want to expand. See, the application for this is actually huge. We can actually even take this into a train to hire model. Even online interviews can be done through this particular platform and the idea that we are working with.
So how many, what kind of solutions have you already solved?
So far, we have actually worked in the area of recruitment. We have done this, but again, as a concept is what we have sold, and we have sold the video to our customers. We have worked on induction. We have worked on POSH. That's the prevention of sexual harassment. We have worked on hiring, and right now we are working on leadership. And just last week we acquired a new company which is into financial services, where we'll be actually training people who want to get into mutual funds through such a scenario based learning. So we have created the content and sold it to that client.
Okay, that's from my side.
So the time is up. For our next presentation, I would like to invite Eklavya. So can we have Eklavya presenters on the team?
Hello, hi, can you all hear me? If there's any disturbance at any point, please drop a message in the chat box.
Yeah, judges, please vote. Thank you.
Yes. So hi everyone, this is Narsimha from Eklavya e-learning app. So we are based out of Hyderabad. We want to impact where learning matters the most. What we do is we provide quality digital education to the masses, who are probably the students mostly from the middle and lower income groups. Our aim is to make education accessible, quality digital education accessible, affordable, and applicable. Within these three terms, our entire vision is embedded. When we say accessible, most of these students are not being tapped into by the existing edtech platforms. They don't have immediate solutions that they can start using. There is no last mile connectivity. When we say affordable, most of these students, their entire school fee is equal to 1 year fee of major edtech platforms. So most of the edtech platforms are still catering to the premium segment of our economy, of students of the economy. When we say applicable, the content that is being put out by many edtech platforms is not based on a lesson plan. It's not based on the learning objectives and learning outcomes. It is not adhering to the pedagogy principles. So our aim is to make quality digital education accessible, affordable, and applicable. So how we do it? We target our target segment through the affordable private schools. These schools charge anyway less than $150 as the school fee per year. That is a kind of segment that we are tapping into. And it's a huge digital divide in the country, and there's a lot of scope for the edtech space. We all know that. What is the relevance? As I told, content based on framework and theories. So what we do is we provide white labeled apps in the name of the school with entire digital content. The school curriculum is digitized, and also ERP software is provided within the school app. So it's mobile friendly and it's user friendly, and whatever the digital needs of these schools will be, entire digital needs of these schools will be catered to only with our single app. So the schools need not look at all the other apps, including the content and ERP software. So our content will also serve as a remedy space, and there's a dearth of skilled teachers in the rural areas, especially Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. The impact of pandemic is accelerated digital learning loss. So how are we different from others? We are just not a learning app vendor. We are a thought partner. We are an ally to all the three segments: the schools, administration, the teachers, and the students. We are a customized one-stop solution, and we provide bilingual content. Most of the students from these Tier 2, Tier 3 cities and this affordable school segment, they don't understand when a subject is taught in complete English language. They expect bilingual content, and most of the teachers in their school actually teach bilingual content. Most of the other players are doing only bilingual content only in Hindi because it's a huge belt. But we want to be a first player who does bilingual content across all the 22 official languages in India. We have already started with 3 languages. Other players are support only one beneficiary. Ours is a one-stop solution for all the digital needs of these schools. What's the action? We launched last year in around June. Within 18 months, we were able to onboard more than 1,100 schools across 4 states. Now we have presence in 8 states. We have 1 lakh users, more than 1 lakh users. It's about 1.5 lakh on this day as we are talking. In the next 4 months, we will be touching 500,000 users across India. Our revenues in the past 18 months are $64,000. Our client retention rate is 95%. That has been a fantastic work, and the CAC is negligible, the customer acquisition cost. Now we are transitioning from a B2B model.
Sorry to interrupt.
Half a minute, please. We are transitioning from a B2B model to B2B2C model at this stage, and that is why we are raising funds. At this stage, we are collecting only $150 per school per year, but then once we transition entirely, we are expecting it to go to $1,000 per school per year. And this is a fund that we are raising to $500,000. $200,000 has already been committed, and we are raising another $300,000. This is how we are going to spend it. Yeah. I'm open for questions. These are the revenue projections.
Yes, go.
Hi, thanks for really storytelling presentation. I could grasp almost anything from just presenting without explaining it, but it was really storytelling. My question would be more focused on your go-to-market strategy. Can you thoroughly elaborate your market strategy? I saw that you have mentioned it within your within your last 3 slides. Nevertheless, would like to know a bit more about it. I mean, I saw that you have a 4% of penetration to 2 states within India. Are you planning to expand to whole India and internationally as well?
Yes.
If you succeed.
Yes. So we have global plans, but the content is getting ready for that. Since we have been doing bilingual content and other stuff, we are not yet ready for a global launch. But coming in 2022, we'll be experimenting at least 2 countries across. We'll be identifying those countries and experimenting after the fundraise. But our go-to-market strategy has been unique. So we don't spend a lot on marketing because we know once we spend on a lot of marketing, the customer acquisition cost goes up, and our products will not be affordable to this segment. So that is why what we do is we partner with like-minded organizations and associations, and through them we will get introduced to the schools. That's where we are crossing the entry barrier without spending a lot of money. So for example, in Telangana, we are tied up with TRESMA, Telangana Recognized School Management Association, in Andhra Pradesh with APUSMA. Now, because of our work in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, NISA, which is National Independent School Alliance, which has about 75,000 schools working with it, they have recently come forward, and we have signed an agreement on November 27th of this year, last month. Now we are going to be a one-stop solution. We are coming up with a campaign called One School, One App, which means every school that we are targeting should be able to complete all their digital needs using only one app, and that should be Ekalavya app. So that campaign we are launching at the end of this month on 28th and 29th December to all the 76,000 schools associated with NISA. So this is how we go ahead. What we do is we provide a customized solution to schools, attract the schools, get their credibility, earn their credibility, and then tie up with the association and get introduced to all the schools in that particular state at once without spending a lot of money. And once the customer is onboarded, because there is an exit barrier, because these customers are not tech savvy, once they have onboarded, they have a huge exit barrier. It will take at least 2 to 3 months for them to actually understand the product and use it completely, start using it completely. That may take us initially some time, but once they are onboarded, and that is why we have a customer retention of 95%. These 2 schools, once they are onboarded, they do not go out, and that's how we have recurring revenue.
Thank you for thoroughly answering my question.
Parag, your question, please.
Yes, a nice evocative name, Narasimha. So my question is, you talked about mostly selling to schools, and yet you said that you were transitioning to a B2C model. So help me understand the rationale for that.
Yes, Parag, I understand your company had previously had some association with products which sold to schools. We had an interaction, if you remember, in April this year, when we were raising our previous round on email through email. You are not comfortable with schools, realization of revenues. There were a lot of doubts in your, even now I understand you still have those doubts. So this has been the plan that in the B2B segment, in this affordable school segment, the revenue realization is a big thing. It's very difficult to realize revenues from these schools. So what we do is, we establish the base, we get a foothold, we let the schools rely on us, and slowly we will start charging the students instead of the schools. So now going ahead, what is happening? Next month, we are releasing adaptive learning modules for courses like IIT Foundation, NEET Foundation, Abacus, Vedic Maths, which these schools will not be able to teach to these students because either they don't have skilled teachers or their time is not sufficient to teach all this. And these courses will also be very affordably priced at only $10 per year per student per course. So what we are doing is increasing the base so that over a period of time, we will increase the customer lifetime value. So this has been the plan, that we should transition from B2B to B2B2C, but that transition should happen smoothly while also increasing the user base.
Okay.
Yeah, Narasimha, this is Ali here. Nice presentation. Just want to quickly understand, just in terms of your content, what is the real USP out there? Because you also mentioned about you helping schools just digitize their entire offering, which means that going forward or even now, how do you differentiate with some of the content providers out there?
Yes. So what we do is we provide a customized solution based on the state board specific content. So what we do is, all the other players do a standard content and push that same content across all boards. But what we do is, for each state board, we digitize the entire content completely with our own resources, with in-house resources, with in-house teachers, our own freelancers and full-time teachers. That is one part. The second is, the customization is also about going into in-depth of, for example, Madhya Pradesh needs Sanskrit content, Telangana needs Urdu content. Not any other player is doing this kind of customization. For example, we did it first language Telugu, first language Hindi, second language Telugu, second language Hindi for both Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. There is no other player who did all these subjects. So this level of customization will keep us ahead. Also, regarding the content that we are now making, which is based on learning objectives and learning outcomes, this content can be used within the classroom atmosphere by the teacher also. So apart from students using the content at their home or as a remedy space, the same digital content, the school curriculum itself, that content can also be played within the classroom by the teacher. She can engage the students with the videos also. So we are not replacing the teacher. We are trying to be an ally to the teacher. In 3 years down the line or 4 years down the line, how we will differentiate ourselves is, one, content, and two, with respect to accessibility.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah. So the time is up. Can we have our next startup, Urvaja? Saurabh, am I audible? Can you?
Yeah. I push. But I can't share content.
You can share your screen from bottom panel. It has an option, share screen. It's green in color.
It's share content.
It's share screen, but after that, you can share your deck.
I'm sorry. There's Photos, iCloud Drive, Dropbox, SharePoint, Google Drive, Browser. No, it is not there. Am I having a different version?
No, actually the version is same. You can, from the down panel, it has an option, share screen. So is it visible?
No, I don't have a. I have only thing on at the top, at the right hand side. Mute, stop video, share content. Participants and
Okay, from share content, you can share your screen.
No, I'm not getting that option. I'm getting photos, iCloud Drive, Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, SharePoint, Google Drive, Box, website, and bookmark.
Okay, actually the option is visible there. Just a moment.
Yeah, so Arvi, let's do one thing. The deck has been mailed to you and Ritvik, right? Let's start with the next one, and then you can, pull up the slides on behalf of him.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay.
Let's move on to the next one first.
Sure. So can we have Bruce and Great for their next presentation?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I will be taking it up. Sorry, Munish will be presenting the case. I will be sharing the screen. Is it visible?
Yes,
yeah, Ravi, we can see it. Yeah. Ravi will have to put it to slideshow mode. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Perfect. So hello everyone. My name is Munish Mishra, and along with me is Ravi Soni. So we are Gross and Great. We are an STPI API to 2.0 cohort selected startup. And today we are going to talk about our first product, which is Upaj Guru. So what you're seeing at the screen is, are some of the mockups. So Upaj Guru is an end-to-end platform for entire agri value chain. Our end-to-end control on the value chain and re-engineered process enables farmers to access high-quality certified input materials at cheaper price. We enable cheaper finance. We enable better farm yield through IoT-based farming. And post-harvest, we aggregate and sell the produce directly to institutional buyers, thus creating a strong link with buyers and higher price realization for the farmers. We essentially bring everyone on one platform, be it FMCG giants, a small farmer, an MNC seed or pesticide company, an insurance firm, or big financial institutions, and small logistics operators. And that's not all. What sets us apart is our revolutionary blockchain-based traceability solution that eliminates the missing visibility of food movement from farm to fork. Thus, we plug the information gap, and we are very proud to say this is perhaps first in the industry. And who we are, Ravi and I, we were together in IIM Indore, and we have Nitin and Deepak and Praveen Sinha as our other co-founders, while Anuj Garg, who is a PhD scholar at Triple IT Delhi in blockchain technology and also an internationally renowned expert. He's our mentor, and Professor Rajans Mishra from IIM Indore is our mentor. So all of us put together have collectively 100+ years of experience in execution in emerging markets and developing markets. So how we arrived at the problem, we did almost 2 years of researches across 6 states in the country, interacted with 1,500+ stakeholders, and we identified that this segment is facing problems because of it is unorganized nature. There is no traceability and no quality certification, thus no price realization, costly and substandard input materials, and all of this leads to almost 65% accumulated inefficiencies, which are net loss in the value chain. So when we look at the existing solutions in the market, people are operating in specific applications, but nobody is looking at this market from a wholesale point of view, and nobody is providing an end-to-end solution. So that's where we found the gap, and we came up with our solution. So if you look at the market, the total market size just for wheat and paddy across the country in India is $250 billion a year. And what we are targeting in phase 1 is just 3 states, UP, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Madhya Pradesh, wherein I think the serviceable market is close to $50 billion. And by end of 4th year, we are targeting a turnover of $4 billion. How we arrived at it, we'll show that. So our revenue streams are largely going to be, to begin with, we'll have aggregation of post-harvest produce and input supply materials. Therein we'll have 3% revenue, 3% margin. And we have traceability as a service, for which we have clients on board, which we'll speak about later in the presentation, wherein we'll have 15% of service revenue, 15% margin in service revenue, and financial institutions with whom we have already started engaging while acting as their business correspondents and distributors. We'll have around 10% margin, and exports would be another 6%. So what we project is
sorry to interrupt in between, but your time is up, but you can still scroll your presentation in between the questions. So can we have our first question?
If nobody is going to ask, I'm going to ask. I saw that you're a winner of many awards and being probably the most sophisticated startup in your niche. Can you elaborate more about your niche and what makes you attractive to other players on the market who provides a similar solution?
So there is no one in the market who is providing similar solution. As I said, we are controlling the entire value chain from end to end. So our traceability solution will give you visibility from the seed up until the agriculture produce is converted into processed food for final consumption. So this traceability no one has. This is a specific use case of blockchain. And
so there are two levels of traceability in this solution. One is the asset traceability, other is the cash flow traceability. And that is what is very much attractive to the banking institutions, along with some of the partner institutions with whom we have already partnered with, for example, Harvest Plus, ITC and all. They look for the traceability solutions. Along with that, in this entire chain, if you'll find, the application has got 4 different verticals. So one vertical is for the farmers' stickiness that remain stick to us. We give them an array of advisory services through IoTs and AI-based algorithms. And then in the value chain, we have control of the entire value chain from the input supplies to the output supplies. And the third is the distribution model is the biggest the strength of our network. Our distribution channel is based upon the FPO models and micro-entrepreneur models. We have a very strong connection with the FPOs, which is enabling us to scale up and create the entry barriers.
What is left to be done? Thanks for the answer for the first question. What is still left to be done within your software development? As you see this scheme, it really looks really complex. A lot of inputs, outputs, and what if questions that turns into the system and getting it reversed to if the requirement is not answered. So can you more elaborate on your of the functionality of your software? How does it function?
So we have already executed this model. The first model was executed on behalf of University of Hyderabad and Samuniti Finance. And it was executed with 60,000 farmers in Virudhunagar district of Tamil Nadu. So we successfully modeled it, and we could reduce the cost of lending in that particular model by more than 6 basis points, that is 6% to the smallholder farmers. So at one point of view. The second point is we could track the assets from the base, that is production, to the final produce, ensuring the traceability of biofortified food grains for Harvest Plus, which is US-based, one of the largest seed manufacturer, and GAIN, which is a body of United Nations, a body under United Nations, Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition. So they were looking for a solution for commercializing their biofortified food grains. We could execute to them, and that is why they have become partners to us.
Thanks for explaining the functionality of the software. Just one more question. As I saw on your first slide, you earned so far within your demo stage $200K US.
Yeah.
Did I understand it right? Yeah.
Yeah. The first year we created a revenue that we started the operation in May 2020. But before that, we did a research of almost a year before coming into this field. So in 2020, we could earn a revenue of $40,000. And in the second year, that is this current year, we have already earned a revenue of almost $100,000 by the end of this year, 2020, March 2022, we have a tied up revenue sources for 150. So in total, in 2 years, by March 2022, we'll have $200,000.
Thank you very much. Thank you and good luck.
Hey, very quickly, can you give me the breakup of this $150,000?
Yeah, do we have time for a question?
Yeah, quickly, please.
Okay, just wanted to.
Dinesh will come to you next.
Yeah, sure. Just wanted to check, you have kind of dealing with a lot of players in the value chain, and you call yourself an end-to-end platform. Just trying to understand what is the engagement model with some of these players. I mean, do you go after them with specific solutions, or how do you kind of take yourself to the market? What is the offering like? How do you communicate it? And
so our model was we did the researches first, developed the product, and then did the engagement with after executing the model. So, for example, in the finance sector, we executed the model with the Samunati Finance in collaboration with University of Hyderabad, and then Yes Bank and including SBI also. I'm right now into a very good negotiation with. So they are ready to collaborate with us in the first phase of their pilot disbursements. And secondly, with respect to Harvest Plus and Gain, we had done an extensive researches along with them. So they got the confidence in our abilities. And basis on that, we collaborated with them for the commercialization of their biofortified seed grains through providing the traceability solutions. We are having a very active engagement with ITC as of now, and Britannia and Adani Group for procurement of our goods through FPO channels. So that is how Nitya is. So we have a very diverse team strength. So if you find in our team structure, Nitya has worked into the agri domain for last 10 years. He's been an agronomist as well as active agriculturist also, maintaining the FPO networks. He has been mandated with the Government of India for maintaining the FPO network, that is the research institutions for FPOs in 4 states in India. So we have an agricultural background, deep base in the agricultural background. We have technocrats like Anuj and Praveen who have developed the IT solutions. I and Munish usually work towards the market development, strategy creation, as well as maintaining the overall development of the company. So we have a very diverse team structure, which is giving us the confidence to tie up with the network clients.
Great. Dinesh, your question quickly. And Ravi, can you be a little more succinct actually in answering the question? We have very limited time.
I'm good. I don't need to ask the question.
Okay, thank you. Are we next one?
So yeah. Now, can we have Urvaj? Ritik, can you please share the screen?
Thank you. Thank you. So we've been around in the idea for the last 10 years before we incorporated our company. Some of the key highlights are we won the Olympics gold medal sponsored by McKinsey in 2011 for the work we've done in Barcelona in 2011. Then 2017, our earliest startup was able to get some funds from SoftBank. And currently we are working with World Economic Forum in India on the fruits and the smart cities database by Government of Karnataka and Government of India. Having said that, this company is being formed by Urvija, who started this company 2 years back at the age of 19 before going to Nottingham and Harvard. And ever since we've done quite well. Next page, please. So what are we going to tell you here is that why data monetization is everything. 2 things we are addressing right now. Number 1, it is economies of scope. There are there are like hundreds and thousands of AI companies and data monetization companies that are coming up. What is the secret sauce? And number 2, as usual, the economies of scale. So our promise is that whenever we work with a client, we unlock the full potential of digital assets to help them obtain greater than 10 percentage points additional revenue at a greater than 84% gross margins while being legally compliant, privacy laws compliant with minimal capex and opex. The reason why we use this as a tagline is that we are yet to come across a CFO in the world who says no to free money. So rather than coming across and putting ourselves as a tech company, we provide them the CFOs that, okay, we are here to give you free money. Next page, please. We have a Mondelez model. For example, as I said, given that we have economies of scope, we don't want to restrict ourselves into one thing, but into a range of solutions. And in the last 2 years in the COVID times, we have served 87 clients in 11 sectors. We have touched clients top line of $15 billion, and we've been able to generate 2.2 to 11.1% additional revenue, which is approximately $420 to $440 million at 74 to 92% gross margins. That is what we've been able to syndicate with our clients using our cash flow product. Next page, please. As I said, we are economies of scope. So we have worked through 10s and 11s of sectors across almost all the functions, and we have seen impact in, I mean, the size may be different, but there is hardly any function in any sector which has not seen the implication or the impact of data that we have. Next page, please. And that's the reason I said the economies of scope. So to explain the economies of scope, if you look at the fulcrum at the top, left-hand side, you have the data owners, the B2B data owners. They come to our platform and we give them money out of it. How? Look at the bottom. Number one, we solve their internal problems. Number two, we solve their external problems by giving them money, and we help them collaborate among various sectors. So it's something like a CPG using a healthcare data, healthcare using a, I don't know, mobility data and stuff like that. We put all the data together. Next page, please. Now, some of the flagship products that we have. One is a cash lab. We all understand that, let's say we talk about a manufacturing plant. The capacity can be measured in terms of the number of cars made, the number of aeroplanes made, or the amount of cement made. But we don't understand that the amount of digital infrastructure that has been created, what is a dollar value? So we have a proprietary patent pending solution, which is a cash lab, that when we take the cash lab to, let's say, a Coca-Cola, we can tell them that, okay, this is the value in terms of data monetization for all the digital assets that you carry. Similarly, we have Think, Lens, Grow, Let's Collaborate as standalone group of products. Next page, please.
Sorry to interrupt in between, but your time is up, but you can still scroll your presentation in between the question answer round. So sure. Can we have a first question?
So I'm still struggling to understand your solution product, as the case may be. Why don't you take your flagship client and explain it to me?
Yes, sure. So in fact, can we go to the next page? It will be better. Yeah, just stay there. Yeah, just stay there. So number one, as I said, economies of scope. Economies of scope means that, for example, we are working in Thailand with Central Retail, which is a retailer, $6.7 billion. We are working with True Telecom. We are working with SCB Bank, and we are working with Grab, which is a Uber equivalent there. So what happens is we have Grab data. Whenever you are approaching, let's say, store of a central group, it gives you a notification that you are approaching. Place an order, and Grab will wait you for 30 minutes. There you place an order, Grab waits, the SMS comes through True. Similarly, SMS or a ping goes to the bank saying that if you use the SCB Bank credit card, you get an additional 10% discount. So what happens is that the retail data, the telecom data, the Grab data, and the bank data, they're all talking to themselves, and the customer benefits. So that's one of the examples. And we have approximately 9,000 such products that we have developed. As I said, we have economies of scope. And this is the solution that we have on the page, which is platform as a service. We have created vertical platforms, which are unique to already done, which are like retail specific or telecom specific. Now we are creating a super platform, which means that no matter which sector you are in, you will be able to share data and get money out of it. So this is a product that we are working on right now.
How much do you make? I mean, a Standard Chartered bank or a Grab selling its data for small amounts of money is kind of difficult to envisage, isn't it? So help me understand.
True. So in 2019, you're absolutely true. 2019, when we started working, there are three realities. Number one, nobody will give you data. Okay, we tried working with Indosat in Indonesia, which is the largest telecom, and it took us, almost $2.7 million to set up a server there, and we had to throw it because it didn't work out. The CEO changed. Number one. Number two, if the value at stake is not high, if it is not at least $1 million or $10 million, nobody is going to give it to you. For example, in the case of Thailand, the value that we are able to unlock for all these guys was 100 million to 140 million, and therefore all of them were willing to participate. Now we have inquiries from Coca-Cola, Pankaj Sinha, who also wants us to do for South Asia.
How much do you make out of it?
We have made some $100,000 in the month of April, and right now we revenue share. We don't, because in the COVID times, nobody's going to give us money. as I said a little earlier, it's always a CFO who never says no to free money. So we always go for revenue share. So for example, I have contracts with Landmark Group in Dubai with a 2% revenue share. Then I have with Axiata Dialogue, which is into 6 countries with a 10% revenue share. So we go with revenue shares.
So in the last month, November, how much of revenue did you generate?
I have signed 2 contracts, as I said, one with Axiata for 10% revenue share and one with Landmark Group in Dubai with 2%.
What did it mean in dollars?
Dollars, it's a 3-year contract. So it could be anywhere between, let's say, I don't know, a couple of $1 million.
No, that's fine. But how much did you get in November?
No,
that is past,
now.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I'm in the month of December. I'm implementing now. Yeah. So can you go to the previous page, please? That will explain a little better. No, the next page, not the previous one. So if you look at the infrastructure that we have about 64 data scientists, 375 engineers. We are in 21 countries and we have 3 tech partners. And in India, we are backed by IIM Bangalore. They incubated us. And in South Africa, we are backed by East-Squared Pathways. And currently, we are a group of 18 spin-offs. So each sector is a company which we have formed on their own and they are standalone. And in technology, we are partnering with Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, and Ben Gurion is University in Israel. Israel being the toughest place to get the data. So we have a partnership with those guys.
Have you completed any acceleration or incubation programs within the process of product development? And did you get any value from it, like financial support, guidance within product development stage, and of course, mentorship, proper mentorship? Can you elaborate more on that? Thank you.
Yeah, we got mentorship from IIM Bangalore, and we are getting data from Israel, and we are getting tech partnership from, actually, he's one of my batchmates. He's a professor there in IT Kanpur. So he's helping us. Money-wise, we've been using our own money. So we didn't feel the need to raise money so now, largely because of COVID times, because earlier we were spending a lot of money traveling everywhere. But thanks to COVID, the OPEX came down to nearly 0. And as I said, the data engineers and the data scientists, they are at call. And they range from, some of them are in San Francisco, Boston, Sao Paulo. They're distributed all over the world. So depending upon the client's appetite to pay, we pick the people.
As this opens, thank you. I will just add one more. As this open, another question. Since you're a self-funded project, and if you raise the money, how are you planning to spend it? What would be the weight on it? Yeah,
True.
Is it marketing or software? Tell me.
No, whatever we've been doing so far is it can stand on its own. Therefore, I'm looking for building 18 spin-offs, one in each sector, which will take care of them. We might put some liquidity, working capital there, but the money that I'm looking to raise here is to build a platform. And I'm in talks with Puneet Chandok, who's the AWS CEO for India. And I don't remember the name, a guy called in Singapore, who's the APAC CEO of AWS. So I'm talking to those guys to build our platform. And the previous platform was built by a guy who was our ex-CTO, Tariq, who was reporting to Satya Nadella while he was in Microsoft.
Thank you very much.
We need to move on. Thank you. I think we are at the top of the time.
Yeah.
Last presentation.
So for the last presentation, I would like to invite Armor Heavy. So can we have you on the screen?
Yeah, thanks a lot. That was quite a tech heavy. Can you see my slide?
Yes, your screen is visible and your slide is also moving.
All right, a shout out to all the judges. You've been very patient listening. Thanks a lot for that. I'll just take 3 more minutes for the pitch and of course then the Q&A. This is center page, cover page stuff that I'm going to talk to you about. I'm Captain Rahul Rai. I've got about 21 years of experience. I'm a brand enthusiast and I'm the founder and chief vision officer for Armor Heavy Performance Wear. And the stuff that you see is absolutely world class. Before I start, I want to leave you with this question and come back to this. Name top 3 aspirational fashion brands from India. And the word to focus here is aspirational. You will struggle, I'm sure, especially the Indian judges who are there. You'll struggle because none exist. And I firmly believe that the next Nike will be from India. And whole and behold, it will be Armor Heavy. Why Armor Heavy? 60% of the Indian market is basically a rip-off, duplicate market of MNCs like Adidas, Nike, Reebok, Puma in India. 60%. Why? Because most of the Indians can't afford those expensive brands. Now, the Indian manufacturers have tried a lot to get that aspirational quotient, but they are merely t-shirt sellers or apparel sellers. They are not aspirational brands. The way I am developing Armor Heavy is an aspirational brand that sells apparels and fashion accessories. That's point number one. Cost is a big factor here. Many multinationals have failed in India. We intend to go global also. However, we want to entrench ourselves and learn from the Indian market. And I'm very confident with the price points, the hyper local manufacturing that we are doing. We are a successful business and a sustainable business. Number two is the aspirational outlook. There are not even one fashion brand or athleisure or performance wear. The way we work is disrupting and the way we dress is disrupting. So millennials are going for comfort clothing. But the Indian, for the past 70 years, India has failed to develop that aspirational quotient. So if I tell you that name top 3 Indian startups or established brands that are aspirational, that can stand their ground with a Nike or a Puma, there'll be none. And that is the gap, because they have not been crafted to be brands. They've been crafted to be t-shirt seller or apparel sellers. Nationalistic statement. In 2006, when the mall culture was just starting in India, I had gone to the mall looking for a good jacket. All I could found is Stars and Stripes, which is the the Abhinav from Almond, I believe, was wearing a national flag of US being in India. So you don't have any alternatives in India which give out that nationalistic sentiment. There's a huge market for it. People are demanding it, but in organized retail, nobody's catering to it. You've got the Union Jack and the colonial colors, etc. So these 3 points typically are on the face in terms of the gap and why Armor Heavy can do well. The vision of the brand is to be the #1 aspirational fashion brand. So you will be putting your money not in a apparel manufacturer, but a brand which will be aspirational from the get-go. I pre-launched this brand about 300 days back, and we've got very strong numbers, very good traction in the market, both in the traditional D2C and the traditional channels of retail shop-in-shops. We've done about 150K, and we've got bookings of another 50K. So those are very good numbers.
I'm really sorry to interrupt in between, but the time is up, but you can still scroll your presentation between the questions. So can we have our first question?
Hey Rahul, nice presentation. Can you just give us some color around the price points and how different they are from some of the market leaders? And also in terms of differentiation, still not able to get that. One you said is, being nationalistic and so on. But otherwise, from the design point of view, just trying to understand how are you different from the Nikes and the Adidases of the world?
Yeah, so from a differentiation perspective, of course, cost is a major advantage. And you see this cap, nobody's, I'm not very sure whether you guys can see this. Nobody is making caps in India. You know why? Because the Chinese caps in India are so cheap. And generally the local market is dying because of that. It's not that India cannot make caps, but Armor Heavy has taken a stab into it. This cap that you see is less than $3 ex factory, right? Logistics included. What differentiates is international world-class labeling, international world-class packaging. The cloth we are using, the Reliance fiber. If you see this T-shirt, this is a 4-way stretch, anti-wicking. Compared to a Nike, it's almost the same product, but at a very low price point. So we can definitely hold good in tier 2 towns, hold good if the marketing pitch is good with the influencers and all, and we are getting good traction with against an Adidas. Like I said, 60% or over 60% of the market in India is the duplicate market, because people don't have the dollars to spend for a t-shirt which is could be $50, and I'm giving this for less than $12. So there definitely is a price sensitive and a quality sensitive market. So that's the differentiation. And of course, the brand Armor Heavy, if you see this quarter zip that I'm wearing, it looks very, very classy, world class on the chest. When you are conceptualizing the brand, I think very important is the brand name itself. Is it sellable? Can it grow? Does it inspire confidence when a person is wearing it? And by the way, Armor Heavy is a military term, not a dictionary word. It means the undefeatable. So you've got a very good story behind the brand also. And this shield has been inspired by Indian Devanagari script. However, it looks like a shield and A and H, but it also is inspired from the Indian alphabets. Yeah.
Understood. And can you also talk us through your sourcing capabilities?
Yeah, we've got three major. So this market in India is unorganized a lot. Even the Indian brands are going to China and to Southeast Asia to get their stuff manufactured. But my promise is that I'm going to hyper locally manufacture a world-class product in India. We've got our own manufacturing facility in Noida. Our sourcing is from three key distributors, Positech being one. Surat is also a good destination where Reliance is pretty strong. So we've got our sourcing from there. Our labeling and badging, most of all, is from Sizer. And Sizer, though it's not very strong in India, but we've got a very good, understanding, and all the labeling and badging that you see on this cap is of Sizer. Which gives an international kind of a quality and look and feel. Apart from that, the packaging is domestic. It's all environment friendly, packaging that we are using, environment friendly paper. When you order a product from armorheavy.com, when you receive it, it's nicely packaged and it looks absolutely world class and international. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Gaio, your question, please.
Hi, thanks for the presentation. Sorry that you didn't have a chance to present it all. Nevertheless, my question would be more focused on your go-to-market strategy and, of course, expansion to other countries. And can you tell us, before moving to answering the question, what is your current revenue status?
Yeah, in effectively, Gaio, about 8 odd months, we've accumulated consolidated 150K for the company. We are an underdog, and we want to actually partner with underdogs like the sportsmen. I'm sure in the panel nobody knows the fastest man in India. However, he's the fastest man, and I'm in talks with such sports people who have achieved great feats in their own right, and they are underdogs. The influencers in India are catching on. They are very good influencers. So being an underdog brand, I actually want to fire up all the influencers who are not touched, who are champions of the future, who have a lot of good fan following, but the multinationals etc. are not talking about them. I want to partner with these guys, and I've already started partnering with national champions and state champions, people who are doing rather well, who are famous with youngsters and middle age groups. So one of the go-to-market is partner with influencers, be it make it very natural, not marketing centric, these guys are wearing and talking about Armor Heavy. You can go to Go Armor Heavy on Instagram and see the kind of very natural marketing that we are actually putting out. I am partnering with such influencers, such underdogs. That's number one. Number two is, being a military guy, I am partnering with the commands like the Northern Command or the Southern Command, and I'm doing a lot of R&D product. So see, the Indian military is the most shabbily dressed army, and there are, I won't hide that. I've been in the army myself, dressed army in the world. So I went to the elite special forces here in India. I went to the National Security Guards yesterday, and I am revamping their tactical wear. And they are very happy when I actually do the R&D and present them the next stage tactical wear clothing. It's a huge market. I mean, Decathlon, which is manufacturing in Bangladesh and China, is doing almost 200 crores worth of business from the military, Indian military, and there's a huge market there. So my go-to market is D2C. Yes, that will be the bulk of the business. I intend to grow to almost like 22 million in the next 3 years with the Series A. Of course. Yeah.
Are you on mute?
Yes, sir. So the time is up, and we can all the presentations are done.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Captain Rai, for your presentation. Judges, please complete voting. We have about 30 seconds to complete our voting. About 10 seconds, we are going to close the vote. Five seconds. Yeah. Lena, please close the voting. Okay, the voting is closed now. Okay, so we have the results. The third place goes to two startups, Ekalavya and Have. They're the joint winners for the third place. Can you have the clap sounds? The second place goes to Rootscoach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And the winner is Armor Heavy, Captain Rai. Thank you so much. We overshot by about 10, 12 minutes or maybe 15 minutes. We had a little bit of technical difficulty with a couple of startups, but I appreciate your time, for staying on and obviously listening to the pitches. As mentioned earlier, if you're interested in follow-on call with any of these startups, please feel free to reach out to them directly or through me. I will be more than happy to sort of connect with you, facilitate any discussion. If you need more information, we're more than happy to sort of share it with you. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much. Any parting thoughts? Any comments?
Really, best of luck, guys.
everybody.
Thank you, Parag.
All the best to the winner and of course to the runner-ups. It doesn't mean that you should be discouraged to give up. It's just that at this event, the winner was prevailing with his idea and he was mostly the marketable. Nevertheless, it's just the nuances that decides and your energy within the presentation could give us a better leverage to see who is suitable for the investment and who needs to work on more on his product. So nevertheless, I wish you all the success in the future endeavors, and hopefully we'll meet again to some other events like this that Subrata has organized. And of course, all the best.
Thank you, Dr. Vanka.
Thank you.
Any other comments, thoughts?
So, Subrata, I'd just like to say it's always wonderful being here on this platform, seeing all the energy and enthusiasm. And like Dr. Vanka very rightly said, congratulations to the winner, but all the rest, this is where your resilience counts. And let's see you keep hitting out and punching above your weight.
Well said.
Well said.
Okay, great. Amita, you are saying something?
No, well said by Sameer.
It's pretty late for you. I think it's like 2:30 in the morning in Canada, right? So thanks so much for staying up and staying put. That's up to your energy. Thank you. And thank you to the team, who have supported the members of the team who have supported us today, right? Arvi, Ritvik, Kunal, Asis, Sweta, Palak, Avinav, and everybody else, Pooja, and everybody else. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Subrata.
Thank you, Subrata.
Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, Dr. Vanka.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, judges.
Thank
Really
you,
nice.
Subrata. Thank you all. It's been
really nice
talking to
moderation.
you. I'll reach out to you to some of you.
Thank you. Thank you, all the participants. Good job.
And looking forward to the next one.
Great.
Bye.
Great. Signing off now. Signing off. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.